You're listening to Prosperity Report, Love and Money Podcast, the relationship podcast that helps you feel more confident financially and romantically. We do this by giving you actionable ideas to help you stop comparing and start repairing your mindset, your money, your relationship, and your life. I'm your host, Kanae Corder, best-selling author, international speaker, hypnotherapist, and financial therapist. Let's grow with the flow together. Enjoy the show. Well, hello, Andy Hill.
Hello, my friend Kanae. How are you?
I am awesome. I'm so happy that we are getting together to answer some questions because this is becoming my favorite part of the podcast.
This is my favorite thing to do every month now.
Yeah, it's sort of like, I don't know, you have this sense of like, I'm doing something in the world. I'm sick.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about purpose and helping out. That's what I'm all about. So
Yes, exactly. So today's question is sort of a combination between love and money. And it's coming to us during Mental Health Awareness Month. So it's interesting because it sounds like our listener is a little stressed, or maybe a little frustrated, but really, more importantly, is dedicated to solving this challenge. So I'll read it and then let's talk about it. My husband says if we love each other enough, we can overcome any money trouble. He also says all I focus on is the money and not the love. It hurts my feelings when he says that. I know what he means in a way, but at the same time, I'm just trying to make sure that we're okay. He wants to go on dates and vacations and do fun things, but sometimes we need to save the money or at least think it through better. Love is important, but money is important too. I don't want to be one of those couples that breaks up over money. How do we control it so we don't become a statistic?
I like how to your point, when the beginning, she's focused on solving the issue, which is good. She's not giving up. She wants to figure out how to make this work. So a positive there.
Yeah. And I know those words, like some people say like love is everything. Like some people are just like so romantic. I dated a guy like that before. Well, you know what? I tend to date guys like that, even though I'm money focused like this lady. I can be kind of money focused and about the plan and, strategic. And I don't know what it is. Opposites attract.
Is that what it is? Is that what you think you want that in your life?
Oh, I definitely, yeah, my boyfriend is like that. He makes sure we have fun. But I think for us, we really have to plan it out because if we don't, it goes crazy. He'll just like, hey, let's get another drink. Oh, let's do this. I'm like, whoa. But if we plan it out ahead, if we're like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to spend. This is where we're going to go. If we talk it through, I'm not nervous through the date and he's not what is spontaneous. Because this is the only time he's spontaneous is when it comes to spending. Now, if I was just like, hey, let's go learn something new. He's like, okay, hold on. Before we learn something new, let's discuss this thing that we're going to learn. Like,
that's such a really good point. Like people can be, call it like a money nerd, for the finances, but maybe they're more of a planner nerd for other things in life or the opposite. So it doesn't necessarily mean the financial side of things. Like it sounds like the husband really likes to go on dates and go on vacation. So maybe he's the one that's planning those things and control of those things.
Yeah.
So it's people sort of flip the script of who's the planner and who's the wild child, right?
Right.
That's really interesting.
And it also sounds like it goes back to something we talk about here on the show a lot and as having some purpose. It sounds like they don't have a clear money mission. She probably can't reel him in if she can't get him to think about whatever his future love is. Because yes, he loves going on dates and doing the romantic stuff because he sounds like a romantic, which is awesome. I so love a romantic man. But at the same time, she's feeling uncomfortable because she's thinking about their future. And some people are present focused while other people are future focused. What do you think?
Well, I completely agree with that. And I fall into the future focused camp a lot. But what I try to do to bring myself to the present to kind of enjoy things is that Nicole and I, that's my wife, Nicole, we make a plan at the beginning of the month to plan out our money. So that makes me feel warm and fuzzy that there's a plan for the money. And then we also plan in the fun. So that makes her feel good because there's fun happening and it's going to be great. And we're going to enjoy things that we like to do. But we're both filling up our buckets of security and feeling good about it because there's a plan in place. So maybe that would help if there is a meeting at the beginning of the month between the two of them saying, hey, here's the things that we both want to do. Here's the things that we like. How can we find a way to balance it out? I want to make sure maybe some of the things that she's thinking about for the future, maybe she wants to be saving for retirement or some of those important things, paying off student loans, things like that make her feel good and secure. And then there's things that he wants. He wants to be able to have a loving relationship that doesn't feel constricted or like there's a lack. So I think that they can get both of them if they just make a plan together. And there'll be a little give and take, for the first couple of meetings, but I think eventually you get the groove like anything, right?
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Same thing in our relationship. I'm a future focused person. I'm always like, where are we going? What is this for? If we do this, how does it take away from this, And he can be a lot more present, just period. Like he is very strong at present focus and I'm not. That's work for me, which is why I meditate, because it's work for me to be present focused. And so I find that for us, planning it out works really well. Also, what I find works really well is knowing what's fun for me and then what's fun for him, because those can be two different things. Because he could be thinking, oh, she's having a good time when she's really not.
Right.
Well, just because it's fun for him. And we've talked in the past about the love languages, and those things are different for different people, just like ideas of prosperity are different.
Absolutely. And your idea of fun is different. Like, I like reading a book on the couch. That's fun to me, but that might not be fun to somebody else, And that's okay. Yeah. That's cool.
Like my sister is a true extrovert. I'm talking about quintessential. She should be in the dictionary next to the word extrovert. So she can do things that like if we try to do something together, like when I go back home to visit and we want to do something together, the places that she wants to take me and the things that she wants to do are not fun for me. I'm like, oh gosh, another party? Like I can't do a lot of parties because I'm an introvert and I'm not quintessential introvert. I can play extrovert really well. So people don't know that I'm an introvert.
Like hosting a podcast.
Exactly. So even my sister gets fooled that I'm an extrovert. And I'm like, no, sister, remember, this is your sister, the nerd.
Yeah. And you like to fill those things up and you're like, okay, I'll do that a little bit for you, a spouse or sister, but these are the things that I like to do. So again, you got to find that nice balance and it all comes with communication. So maybe a part of this is not setting off time to have those talks. And maybe there's things blocking that. Maybe it's children or work or the busy schedule, but carving out that time to have those conversations, really deep conversations where you're truly listening to the other person, I think would go miles in this specific situation.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I want to touch on something. The very first sentence says, my husband says, if we love each other enough, we can overcome any money trouble. So the reason why I want to bring that up is because clearly this man has a belief in love that is so serious.
Yep, that can conquer all.
Yeah, exactly. So you probably can get to him through that conversation. So how do we love each other more? By having conversations and communicating? Like, just make sure your language, and I'm talking to the writer of this question, make sure your language is around love for him. Even when you're talking about money, how do you increase the love through these money conversations, through these future conversations? You love each other now, but you also want to work on your future love. So maybe he'll say, if we're talking about future love, putting some money in the bank for future love, then I can have that conversation.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, there's the way that the planner can help remedy this. Absolutely. And it sounds like she wants to take the initiative. And it also doesn't sound like he's not involved. He wants to be involved. So with his passion towards the love and the romance and the dates and the vacation, I'm sure he can bring that same fire to these, these get-togethers and have great conversation about what's a great way for them to both get what they want, be happy. And that's a true partnership.
Yes, you said it. You said it. That is a true partnership. It's collaboration. A lot of people want to call it compromise,
Hmm.
but it's really collaboration, a different C word. And when you
Yes.
can collaborate and bring those ideas of prosperity together, because clearly his idea of prosperity has love all in it.
Hmm.
So for me, my idea of prosperity is a lot of generosity. Luckily, my boyfriend is very generous too. It's not troubling for him. But sometimes when I work with couples who, when one person is really generous and the other person isn't, there's some arguing, some
Yeah.
conflict there. So if you know his idea of prosperity has this much love involved in it, then how do you get to that future idea of prosperity or help him understand his idea of prosperity and how planning for it, because it sounds like he might be kind of spontaneous and what I call an enthusiast. On my money mentality chart, he sounds like he's an enthusiast, the type of person that's going to, kind of buy the bar and make sure everybody's having a good time. And like I said, like my sister, she's like that. And so maybe if you know his language, kind of like the love languages, but his money language, then you can have a better conversation with him.
Absolutely. And that all starts with great communication.
Yep. So that means I've got to tell you to take the money course. I got to tell you that. Because if you take the money mentality course that I have online, it's free, then this will help you guys with the first step, really getting to know each other's money mentality. And then you can go from there to having the conversation. So that would be one of my first recommendations. I think what Andy says, second, communicate. So first take the quiz and the course. So you'll go to KeneCorder.com/money-course. Take the free course. You can also take the free quiz to learn your money mentality. Then have a conversation around it. And also ask each other what your idea of prosperity is and have a conversation around that so that you can get that communication that Andy talked about. And I would also say planning. You said that, right, Andy?
Hmm.
Planning out the fun. Yeah. So make sure you're doing that. And did I leave anything out? Can you think of anything?
No, like you said, planning out the fun. So you're spending some time deciding what you're going to be doing ahead of time, and that kind of makes everybody feel good on both sides. Hey, the planner is feeling like things are planned out, and then the romantic feels like, hey, we're going to infuse the fun each month and have a great time. So I think that's a win-win for everybody. So like you said, take the quiz, get an understanding of what kind of person you are and your partner, and then you'll be able to effectively communicate. So
Mhm.
you're speaking the right language there, and then make some plans together and have some fun. Have fun.
Yes.
Enjoy it.
Because bottom line, it sounds like they both have the same real concern, and it's the love. She doesn't want to be a statistic. She doesn't want to break up. She does love her husband. So it doesn't sound like there really is a conflict here, except that they speak different languages.
Yeah, and she's doing what she does best. She's planning for the future. She's planning for the future of the relationship, right?
Good point. Yes. So good job. You're planning for the future. Keep planning. Just be patient with your husband because maybe conversations about planning are not as fun for him as they are for you. So take your time and maybe make that conversation something great. I may have heard you on a podcast say that you, during your money day, you guys have like, you may sit on the porch and watch the kids play, or maybe you
Yeah.
have a drink or something like that. Did I hear
Yeah,
you
we
say
try to add fun into it because, sometimes what we do is at the beginning of the month, we plan that money, and then we also plan sort of our relationship things, so we're talking about, what's our date night that we're going to go on this month? Who's the babysitter that's going to watch the kids? What are the kids' activities that we're planning out so that we're not running around pulling our hair? Like who's going where, who's watching what kid, who's taking them there? This way we're kind of setting our expectations at the beginning of the month, and we've got our month planned out. Now we've done it in a way that it's just like a given. We have to do this because it just makes us both feel like we are set for the month. But yeah, I mean, in order to infuse some fun into it, we get a bottle of wine, we relax, we have some wine together. We've even taken our budget stuffs to a restaurant and we kind of lay it out on the table. We have some dinner while we plan out our month. Or if it's a beautiful day, we got the kids, riding around their bikes on the driveway, and we sit there and we have our meeting together. So just find the way that works well for you, that fits into your schedule, that fits into your life. And it can be fun. It can be something you look forward to.
Yes. I know I worked with a couple before and we planned out a money retreat for them. Like they went into a hotel for the day and like got away from the kids and made it just a special day. Now they can't do that every month, but they did that to like kick it off. And we call it Money Day in my program. And so that kicked off the Money Day. And now they have Money Day once a month, like you guys do. And they report back. And a lot of times people keep those up. Most of the time when they go through the program, they end up keeping up Money Day. It's not something that goes away. And I love the idea of also planning your marriage, that month too, because what a lot of people don't understand is that marriage takes effort. But if you're not putting as much effort towards it as you put towards your job or your friendships or whatever else is important to you, then you will become a statistic. Like, you are being very intentional in planning things out. That's one of the number one things that you have to do in marriage that gets forgotten about.
It's such a good point. In the beginning, we work so hard to swoop the other one off their feet with the dates and the fun and the excitement. And then you get into the marriage and then you start to have kids and you look back and you're like, hey, where's the fun and the relationship and all that good stuff? Yep. You can still have that. You just got to be more intentional. Like you said, you can plan it out, because you'd fail at your job if you didn't hit the goals that are set for you. Do the same thing for your marriage. Set some goals that excite you. Work hard at it like it's the most important job you've been given your whole life, because it is. You've made a commitment to someone for your entire life. It's great. It's a cool thing.
Yes, that's so cool. I love to hear you talk about marriage. I really do. I'm always impressed with the way that you and Nicole handle your marriage is very admirable.
Thank you.
I work with couples on a regular basis, and I don't always see this. Like when I give them these tactics, it's like the first time they've ever heard it. And then sometimes I get pushback, and I'm like, look, you're married now. Yeah. You need to do this if you want to stay.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you want to stay that way. Right.
Yes. Well, thank you, Andy, for that insight. And so I hope our listener got some, valuable takeaways from what we shared. We'll put some stuff in the show notes for you so you can click on, even if that wasn't your challenge, but you see how some of the resources we talked about could be helpful for you. We'll add those so you can go to the show notes and check them out. All right. So I guess we'll see you guys next month. What you say, Andy?
Absolutely. I can't wait to do this again.
All right, cool. Bye, guys.
This episode is brought to you by the Young Family Wealth Playbook. This is an ebook that I've developed from my conversations with over 100 millionaires, financially independent rock stars, and debt-free parents that breaks down 7 steps for you to achieve your family wealth. So if you go to marriagekidsandmoney.com/playbook, that's marriagekidsandmoney.com/playbook, you can grab that free ebook today and grow your wealth.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you want more love and money conversations, subscribe to this podcast. Also, tell your friends about us. I'll see you next episode. But in the meantime, head on over to KeneCorder.com for more tips, tools, and resources. And go ahead and leave us a comment if you like. We'd love to hear from you. This show is not to replace professional counsel. The best advice comes from a professional you know. The topics discussed in this podcast are general in nature and are for entertainment and informational purposes only. We encourage you to meet with a professional to discuss your specific situation, whether financial or therapeutic. That's all for now. I'll see you sooner. Remember, no matter what anybody ever tells you, you can have wealth in all of its forms. Believe it, and you will soon see it.